Hey everyone, thank you for being here. My name is Amy Smith. Today we're going to talk about how to make an offer on a house. Buying a house can be a rather complicated process, and one of the things you definitely want to make sure you understand is the offer. So there are a couple of things that I highly recommend that you take care of before you find the perfect house that you want to make an offer on. The first is to have a dedicated buyer's agent. I think sometimes people assume that having a buyer's agent is going to somehow cost you more money. Not true. Really, there are many reasons to have a dedicated buyer's agent, but it won't cost you more money. This is how this works. The commission percentage is decided between the seller and the listing agent. Then that listing agent agrees to split the commission with a buyer's agent. So representing yourself doesn't actually save you any money, it just makes more money for the listing agent. The other person that you really need working for you is a mortgage loan officer. It's so important to have a mortgage loan officer who is accessible, of course professional and friendly and very good at what they do, but someone that you can call and get answers quickly, and then when you are ready with the house that you want, they can keep you on track with deadlines and all those important things once you come under contract. By the way, your real estate agent should be able to recommend someone trusted in the area. Okay, so now that the pre-offer things are taken care of and you're out there looking for the perfect house, once you find it, how do you buy it? You have to make an offer. So this is of course not like going to a yard sale and saying, hey, I'll give you 20 bucks for that. It's a little more complicated. In fact, it's a contract. So an offer to purchase a home is a contract. Usually, not always, but usually here in the Tampa area, it's an as-is purchase and sale agreement. These pre-approved standardized contracts are available to real estate agents. So when you say, I'm ready to make an offer, this is what your real estate agent is going to send to you. Before you sign it, of course, it's very important that you read it. Of course, there's tons of legal mumbo jumbo in there. So I highly recommend that you just get your real estate agent on the phone and say, what the heck does this mean? Once you've signed the contract, your real estate agent will forward that to the seller, who will then consider your offer. Now, here are some important things I always make sure to point out in the contract. First of all, a contract is very time specific. Time is of the essence. I think that even says that in the contract. So you have to pay attention to dates. And again, your realtor and your mortgage loan officer will keep you on track with that. So there are a couple of key things that you definitely want to be aware of in the contract aside from just the dates. One is, of course, your financing terms, which you've worked out with your mortgage loan officer. The next and very important part is the inspection period. There are some responsibilities that you have during the inspection period, and you want to make sure that you understand the right to cancel. So this will tell you, as the buyer, how long you have to essentially change your mind and still get your earnest money deposit back. We're going to talk about deposit right now. So before we talk about how much to offer on the house, we need to talk about making a deposit, a good faith deposit or an earnest money deposit. It's not actually a requirement, but it is a show of good faith. So it shows the seller that you're serious and that you kind of have some skin in the game when it comes to purchasing the home. There's no set percentage, there's no set price, but it's typically a small percentage of the purchase price. That deposit amount is of course spelled out in the contract, and it says that you have a certain number of days to submit the payment to whatever title company or closing attorney that is going to be handling the closing. And you won't be submitting a check to your real estate agent, you will be wiring funds. Now, how much do I offer on the house? The short answer is, it depends. Now, one important thing that a realtor can do for you is to create a CMA, a comparative market analysis. So this is maybe a more accurate way to predict the home's actual monetary value. But something really important to understand is that a home is actually worth what someone is willing to pay for it. That means that in a market like this in Tampa, we say the market is really hot because as soon as a good house comes on the market, it sells. So offers have to be competitive. In fact, you'll very often hear the terms highest and best. This just means that there have been multiple offers received on a home and the seller gets to pick the best one. All of these things I've been talking about are good reasons to have a real estate agent helping you decide a fair price, the best price for a home that you might like. So then what happens once you've made the offer, you've sent the contract over, what happens next? Of course, the seller can decide to accept or reject your offer, but the seller can also create a counteroffer. You should also know that there are any number of reasons that a seller might reject an offer. If a seller has an all cash offer versus an offer for an FHA loan that might take longer, even if the price is lower, they may accept a cash offer. Okay, so a counteroffer obviously puts the ball back in the buyer's court and you can decide as the buyer whether to accept or not. Sometimes a seller flat out refuses to accept an offer because the price is too low or for whatever reason, and then there's no counteroffer. Ideally, your contract is accepted and then we say that you are under contract. So what happens next? A lot of things happen next, actually. So there's a very strict timeline about things like inspections, title searches, surveys, securing homeowners insurance, all of these things that you need your real estate agent to help you with. And before you know it, you'll be on your way to home ownership. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate any likes and subscriptions to the channel. Please leave a comment below or contact me. In the description, you'll see all my contact info. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to talk about your specific situation, or if you live in the area or moving here, and we're going to be neighbors, so let's get to know each other. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.